Hello everyone, if you are new, my name is Marin. Welcome to another reading vlog. This was supposed to be vlog number 2 of my new Unwrap It series, which is heavily inspired and influenced by Megan over at Meg with Books. She does a wrapped up series every year. She kind of does a new spin on it each year, but I am going to be using that format for my 2023 purchases that I did not read and that are not part of reading challenges for 2024. So I've wrapped up the books that I purchased except Book of the Month books. I have like another goal for those, so those are still on my shelf. But every other book I've wrapped up, and each month I'm going to unwrap one of them and read it in a vlog. As I said, very heavily inspired by Megan, so shout out to her. She gave me the inspiration and the idea. I'm just doing it with my 2023 purchases. She is currently doing it with her oldest books on her TBR. I'll actually link you to her first video for this year up in the cards if you would like to go check her out, just in case you've missed her vlogs. They're a good time. So I have my books right here. As I said, there's not a ton of them, and I've actually already unwrapped one of them that I was supposed to vlog in January. Here's the wrapping paper, and I didn't vlog it because I was not doing a lot of physical reading in January, and I was really struggling with this book. The tone of it was very odd. It was just very hard for me to get into. So thankfully I was able to find an audiobook of it. I was able to read it that way, but that book was Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer, and I gave this one 3 stars. It was okay. As I got into it, I liked it more and more, but it's very odd tonally. It kind of reads like a middle grade, but it's very clearly meant to be like an adult romance. The main character kind of rubbed me the wrong way for a bit of this book. She's like one of those quirky, fun female characters, and it took me a bit to kind of get into the story. So I will be checking out the second book. This does end on a cliffhanger, but I only gave it 3 stars. I really had a hard time with it. So I know this is like a book talk sensation or whatever, but for me, it was just okay. But this was the first book that I had unwrapped. I just didn't vlog it because I had to do the audio for it. So this was the first book. I'm gonna go ahead and select the book for February, even though it is not yet February, because I am trying to get all of my reading plans in order for the month. So I'm gonna kind of lower the camera down so you can see the books again, and then I'm gonna pick one of them to read for this vlog. So here we go. Okay, so I do have 4 of these like sparkly ones. I've got 4 of these like plaid ones, and I have 4 of these blue and white polka dot ones, and then I have 3 of these white with like gold swirls. Now my brain likes things to be even, so I'm not going to pick one of these white ones yet because there's only 3 of those and there's 4 of everything else. So I'm going to pick one of these, and I think the one I'm going to go with is this one right here, just because I'm not going to lie, it's the shortest, and my February TBR is already a little out of control. So let's unwrap this one and see what it is. It's pink. Oh, okay. It's another Ellie Hazelwood book. I already have an Ellie Hazelwood book on my February TBR, so I guess we're going to be reading 2 of them. This one is her YA debut, Check and Mate. I've heard that it's cute. So, yeah. This is what we're going to read in this vlog. It's going to be interesting. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just read the back. It says, Mallory Greenleaf is done with chess. Every move counts nowadays. After the sport led to the destruction of her family 4 years earlier, Mallory's focus is on her mom, her sisters, and the dead-end job that keeps the lights on. That is until she begrudgingly agrees to play in one last charity tournament and inadvertently wipes the board with notorious king killer Nolan Sawyer, current world champion and reigning bad boy of chess. Nolan's loss to an unknown rookie shocks everyone, especially Mallory. What's even more confusing? His desire to cross pawns again. What kind of gambit is Nolan playing? The smart move would be to walk away, resign, game over, but Mallory's victory opens the door to sorely needed cash prizes, and despite everything, she can't help feeling drawn to the enigmatic strategist. As she rockets up the ranks, Mallory struggles to keep her family safely separated from the game that wrecked it in the first place. And as her love for the sport she so desperately wanted to hate begins to rekindle, Mallory quickly realizes that the gamers aren't only on the board, the spotlight is hotter than she imagined, and the competition can be fiercely attractive and intelligent and infuriating. So it does sound super cute. This will be the second or third, depending on if I read Love on the Brain before I start this one, Ali Hazelwood book that I've read. The Love Hypothesis was my favorite book of 2023, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. I think it's going to be cute. It should also be a fairly quick read, and that's kind of what I need in February when I already have a lot on my TBR. So once I have my first reading update with this, once it's actually the month of February, I will come back and chat with you about my thoughts. Hello all, happy Saturday. I am going to be starting Check and Mate today. The part of the video you just watched was filmed in like January, so I'm finally ready to dive into actually reading this. My goal is to finish this weekend. It's not a very long book. It's got about 347 pages, and my goal today is to read half of it, which will put me at chapter 15. So that's the goal. And once I've got probably 100 pages or so read, let's see what chapter that would be. I'll do the first 90 pages. So once I'm at chapter 8, I will come back and chat with you, give you a little update on my feelings. I'm hoping that I love this. As I mentioned, this will be the second Ali Hazelwood book that I have read, but I have another one on my TBR for later this month. So hopefully this one will be a winner, so that I continue to be excited to read Love on the Brain, even though they're not going to be the same because this is YA. But anyway, enough of that. It is Saturday. I have nothing on the agenda today except for editing my video, which goes up tomorrow. So I'm going to do that first, and then I will start working on this one. I do have the audio, because I do have some chores and stuff that I need to do. I have a lot of laundry to put away, so I'm going to listen to the audio while I'm working on that. But yes, the goal will be to get halfway through this, and hopefully it will be a fun reading experience. So I will come back and chat with you with an update in a little bit. First reading update. I am currently on chapter 10. I was listening to the last couple of chapters on audio as I put laundry away, and I have a decent grasp of what this book is about. So we are following Mallory. Mallory used to play chess when she was younger, but something happened with her dad when she turned like 13 or 14, and it made her like quit chess altogether. So she is asked to sub in to this chess tournament by her best friend Easton, and when she plays this tournament in her first match, she is paired against the world #1 and she beats him. And so what follows is an offer from like a chess club to sponsor her and like train her up to potentially get her into the pros, and they're paying her like a pretty good amount of money. And since she is basically solely supporting her family, she begrudgingly takes up this offer to play chess for this club. So she has just competed in her first tournament with the club, and she's kind of met this guy who is a total asshole, for lack of a better word. He doesn't think women should be playing chess against men. It's very sexist. And she beats him, or at least they come to a draw in this tournament, and the guy gets pissed off. And so he like throws out this random rule that they don't typically follow in order to get her like disqualified for the final match. So that's where we are. I'm on chapter 10 right now, which is page 113. So I have read this much, and the next time I update you will be at the halfway point. I will say there are some sparks flying between Mallory and Nolan, who is the #1 chess player who she beat. She also saw him again at this tournament, but they really have not talked like at all. She thinks that Nolan really dislikes her because she beat him. My guess is that he's actually more intrigued with her than anything else, but they've not really had like any interaction. So I can't speak to like the romance part of this. This has definitely so far been about getting to know Mallory, her motivations. We still don't know what exactly went down with her father, so I'm looking forward to learning that. And lots of family dynamics here. She has 2 younger sisters, and then her mother, who was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, I believe, and is really, really struggling with that. They like can't get the medication correct, so her mom is in a great amount of pain. So that's where we are with this so far. So it's been enjoyable. The audio was good, so I'm definitely going to be like bouncing between the two, I think, as I finish this off. But yeah, that's my initial thoughts on Check and Mate. As I said, once I've gotten to chapter 15, I will come back and talk with you again. So I've got this much left, and it's going well so far. So hopefully that will continue. So I will see you in a little bit. Hey all, it's like an hour and a half-ish later, and I have reached the halfway point of Check and Mate. So I am on chapter 15. And there was a part in this last section that I was reading where Nolan shows up at Mallory's house. And as I mentioned, Mallory has 2 sisters. One is like 14, one's like 12 or something like that. And the hilarity that ensued from her sisters trying to like talk to Nolan and ask him questions was phenomenal. Something that Allie Carter does really, really well is dialogue. I just think a lot of the time some of it is so funny, and that definitely came through like with that scene. He is like sitting at their kitchen table, so the mom invites him to stay for dinner, and he's sitting at the kitchen table devouring the mom's meatloaf, which is like just funny in and of itself. Like he could not get enough of her cooking, and the sisters were like peppering him with questions, and he was giving like very like flat, simple answers, but they were so funny. And like Mallory's reaction to it was really great too. So I really had a good time with that. She just competed in another chess tournament, this time in Toronto, I believe, and he's there. And they've kind of had like a bit of an argument, and because she is like determined to dislike chess. She does not want it to become like a big part of her life. She wants to be able to like shut it off in her brain, keep it as like a 9-to-5 type gig. And he really wants to play her again in chess because she beat him the one time, and he wants to play her again. And it's very obvious that he really likes her, and she's being kind of dense about it. So that's where we are in the halfway point, but I'm really, really having a good time with this. Again, the dialogue that Allie Hazelwood manages to write is just spectacular. So nothing has happened in terms of like them officially getting together, but you can definitely tell that both characters like each other. He is being much more open with it. She is being quite stupid about it. He actually says something along the lines of, Haven't you figured it out, or something like that. Yeah, he says, I thought you were starting to get an idea. And she says, I'm not, just tell me what you want. And he and then they get interrupted. So of course he doesn't do that, but it's like so obvious what he wants. Come on, Mallory, like, come on. But anyway, so yeah, that's where I am. I will finish this off tomorrow. It's definitely a quick read. I'm having a great time with it. Would recommend the audio. I was doing some like online puzzles while I listened to part of it. And then I was like listening and reading physically at the same time as well. So yes, this one's going very, very well. Much better than the first book that I unwrapped this year, which, as I mentioned already, took me a while. But yeah, that's where we are. The goal tomorrow will be to finish this, but I have marked out like the 75% mark, which is chapter 22. So I am not sure if I'll like chat to you before I start reading tomorrow, but if not, I will definitely come back and update at this point. So that's what I've got for you. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for this evening. I'm going to eat some dinner and possibly play some Sims 4, and then I will come back and finish this tomorrow. So I will see you then. Hello all, happy Sunday. I'm just back from Target. I had some gift cards and some like reward dollars to spend. They were having, or they are having, a buy one get one half off sale on books. So I picked up some books for the library actually, because yes, I have a budget, but that budget only goes so far. And there are a lot of books that I feel like the library is lacking. And then I also kind of wanted to get some things that I knew the students would enjoy. So I picked up How to Catch a Leprechaun, and then a hardcover of How to Catch a Unicorn. We have a paperback of How to Catch a Unicorn, but it has seen better days. So I'm going to replace it with this hardcover and hope that it lasts a little bit longer, because the paperback is like totally tore up. It's why I don't like paperbacks in school libraries. They just don't last very long. So I picked both of those up, and then I also found this cute one right here, which is Weather Together. It's about two little unicorns. One is like this darker color, and she basically, it seems like she has like some depression maybe, because it says, Nimbus can't seem to be sunny all the time the way Kelp can. Some days she's cloudy. Nimbus doesn't want to spoil the fun, and she is not ready to show her cloud to Kelp. Ignoring it only makes the cloud get bigger. Maybe, just maybe, getting to know her cloud will make it a little less scary, and maybe friends like Kelp are there to share the weather together. So it sounds really cute. My girls are obsessed with anything to do with unicorns. So I saw this one and thought I would pick it up because it sounds really sweet. So that one I picked up. And then one of the Show Me nominees was The Bruce Swap by Ryan T. Higgins, and I saw this one at Target as well, so I went ahead and picked this one up as well. It's like one that like you get to decide what's going to happen in the book basically. So, because it says something like, tilt the book all the way onto its side to help Bruce back to his napping log. This one says, turn the book back upright to make the couch come to Bruce, etc. Because like he's here, so then you have to turn it the other way to make the couch come, you know, like this. So it seems really cute, and I think the kids will really enjoy it. They really liked the Bruce Swap. So picked up those 4 books for school, but then I did pick up a couple books for myself as well. So I got One Italian Summer by Rebecca Searle, and I also picked up this one, Before We Were Innocent, which sounds really interesting, and I'm excited to read both of these at some point. So those were my little book haul. While I'm speaking about book hauls, I'm going to share my book of the month picks that I picked up. So I have not been super impressed with book of the month, honestly, for like the last half of a year or so. And I skipped quite a few months. So I skipped November. I skipped January because nothing sounded like something I wanted to pick up. But in February, they were offering The Fox Wife, which sounds very interesting and more up my alley. It's like historical fiction with some like Chinese mythology elements. So this one sounds like something I will really, really enjoy. And then because I had credits that I haven't used, I also picked up the Firekeeper's Daughter, or Firekeeper's Daughter. And this one had been on my TBR for a long time, and this was like an add-on. So I went ahead and picked these two up, and I'm excited to read both of them. So those were my Book of the Month books. And then their bookmark this month says this. I have a ton of these. I just collect them. I think they're really cute. So that was the other thing that came in that box. But other than that, I don't really have any other haul type things to share. So it is currently like going on 1:30. I still have not eaten lunch because I was running errands. So I'm going to eat lunch and then I will dive back into Check and Mate because my goal is to finish that today. And hopefully it will be pretty quick. I do need to paint my nails. I still have not taken my Project Pan pictures for February, so I need to do that. And I need to edit the Project Pan video because that goes up Tuesday. So those are the things on the agenda. So enough chatting. I'm going to go get busy checking things off my to-do list, and I will come back and chat with you once I'm at like the 75% mark of Check and Mate. So see you then. Hello all, it's like an hour or so later, I guess. I finished putting away groceries, hanging up more laundry. I feel like that's like a never-ending battle. I did paint my nails, so for those following my Project Pan, this now makes 2 uses of the nail polish this month, hooray. And I also got to the 3/4 mark of Check and Mate. I have to say, Nolan, the main male character, is like a total cupcake. He is so straightforward. He like does not play games with Mallory at all. He tells her exactly what he wants, how he feels, and I really, really appreciate that. I feel like that's missing a lot from books. Also, there is a fade to black sex scene in here, so I would actually gear this more as new adult, not young adult. Also, the characters are older, so just keep that in mind. Nothing explicit, but definitely some things that would take this like over the R rating if you're familiar with fan fiction or anything like that. So yes, that's where I am. We're definitely coming to the part of the book though where we're gonna have some kind of big misunderstanding, because that's always what happens in like contemporary romance books, I feel. So I'm a little sad about that because I would have really loved for this just to kind of continue with like the good vibes. But I'm really, really liking Nolan as a character. I think he's phenomenally written. I'm really enjoying him, and just the straightforwardness of him speaking his mind and telling Mallory exactly what he wants. So love that, and I'm having a good time with it. So I am going to take a bit of a break. I need to edit my Project Pan video for Tuesday, so I'm going to do that. I'm also waiting for this one nail to dry because it got messed up, so I had to redo it. There's always one that messes up. So yeah, then we will get back and I will finish off this book and come and chat with you about final ratings and things like that, but I'm definitely really enjoying it, so I'm looking forward to seeing how the last quarter of the book goes. Hello all, it's like a few hours later. I just finished reading Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood, and this is the first fiction book to receive 5 stars from me this year. I just really, really thought this was absolutely adorable, even though there's like a contrived reason why the 2 main characters like get into an argument, and I thought that it was a little dumb. I could understand like why Mallory reacted the way she did, just based on like everything she'd been going through in the book. Nolan is still the standout of the 2 characters in my opinion. He is very no nonsense. He's blunt. He doesn't lie. He tells you exactly how he feels, exactly what he wants, which I found really refreshing. And there's a lot of chess, which I know nothing about chess. She does say like in her little note that she does take a little bit of liberty with it to like move the plot along, which is fine, but she actually does know quite a lot about chess, so it is pretty authentic, I'm assuming. But yeah, I just thought this was great. I had a smile on my face the entire time. As I mentioned previously, there were some parts that made me laugh out loud, and the audio is very well done. So if you are interested in listening to it on audio, do so. It was well done. The narrators, plural, did great. And I just really, really loved this one. So another Ellie Hazelwood that is a winner for me, which is good because I need to read Love on the Brain. Now, I have heard that Love on the Brain is maybe not her best, but I'm still excited because I did like this one so much. And yeah, that's going to be the end of this vlog because I have now finished the book. So 5 stars for Check and Mate, another 5-star for Ellie Hazelwood. I just thought that this was so charming, adorable. It says on the back, a charming riot. It definitely is. And I had a great time with it. So that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me as I unwrapped another book and read Check and Mate. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.